In this communication, I'm talking to Styx, an 11-year-old quarter horse mare who had a bit of a rough start to life, but has been in Pennsylvania now with a wonderful woman named Allison for the last 4.5 years. Styx and Allison have been barrel racing, and Allison is really interested to know whether Styx likes to barrel race. She's very good at it, but she wants to know if she likes it. Her concerns for Styx are that when going into the barrel racing, the alleyway is a problem. Once she's in the ring, she goes like a rocket, but she has a hard time with the alleyway. She also has a hard time going in and out of a trailer, and she wonders what she can do to reduce her stress. She also would like to know what she thinks of Cheese, her companion, her stall companion. She also wonders if there's anything that she can do to help Styx with her food aggression. She apparently kicks the walls of her stall. And the last thing she'd like to know is how she feels about the loss of Bill, one of the stable owners, Froggy, a horse in the barn, and her last stallmate, Journey, who have all passed away. So in this communication with Styx, we'll ask all of these questions and get a lot of great information for Allison. Hi, Allison. Christine. This has been a great talk with Styx. We've sorted some things out. She will take some things into consideration. And I think for me, it brought a lot of understanding, and I expect for you maybe more. So I'll start at the beginning. I've cleared the space. I've called in my guides to help with this, and we're doing this telepathically, but also, energetically and spiritually. So I have the picture at the beginning of this video is what I'm looking at here with the two photos of Styx. And I like both of them. They're a little bit different, and at some points I was directed to one of her effects and other times at the other, but it was very helpful for me to have them all. Thank you so much. I love the barrel racing one. It's a great shot. God, it's something I think I would like to try sometime, but I think it's got to take a lot of guts to be on a horse moving that fast, right? So, all right, good for you. All right, so I at the very beginning, I center myself, and I look at Styx, and I then close my eyes, and I picture myself opening a large door into the space where and then I intend to see the animal. And at first, I feel like there's some pressure. It's funny that pressure is the word that keeps coming up. Pressure and pushback to opening the door. So I stopped. I said, all right, Styx. And before I opened the door, what I did was I lit a candle, and I invited her higher self to come and join if she so choose. And like humans, like us, we have higher selves connecting us to our oversoul and our soul here, and animals have the same. So invite her higher self in, and I just looked at her for a while, and I just started smiling. I just feel happy. I feel like there's so much energy in her, and then I decided I still feel pushback, right? Not quite sure. So I decided, all right, I'm going to go to my Archangel Metatron Oracle card deck, which is, Oracle cards are a tool. They are simply a tool to connect us to the energy of the unseen, energy around us. And I asked for a card of the energy of Styx as a horse. And as I'm asking for that, I say to Styx, what would you like to show me is your energy? And immediately she's through muleish, she says. I'm like, no. Okay. So she thinks her energy is muleish, and there's some stubborn thoughts to that. All right. So I'm like, okay, let's pull the card, see what it says. And I got New Dawn for Styx. it makes total sense based on what you said. Welcome back, right? It's a number 10. 10 is completion and start of a new cycle in numerology. And let me just read you a tiny bit. I'll put these in the email. You may have never thought you would reach this place, even now finding it hard to truly believe that the darker days are behind you. You may have struggled and also lost faith during these times, that you always were able to keep going, persevering, and believing in better times ahead. So this is around her, right? Look at the sunlight, feel the warmth and the love that is here. This new journey is one to be savored and experienced in all its glory. This is a friendly place, the universe that embraces the new you and all that you truly came here to be. Welcome back to the light. So she's in her new place. She's in her new dawn. So this is a new life, and what she's experienced is the bad things are behind her. So I love that energy around new dawn around her. So perfect. So I read that and talked to Styx, and then I opened the door and I look in and see her in a field in daylight, and she is running and bucking her back legs and running around and kicking up her legs, and she has a lot of energy. And I've found through this whole reading that she is extremely physically expressive, and I don't know horse mannerisms very well. I can assume, but I don't try to interpret it, but I tell you what she does, and these mannerisms will mean something to you because you're a horse person, right? So she has a lot of energy, and it feels more like energy she needs to get out, that she's releasing, than anxiety. So I feel like this is an anxious energy. And I tell her, hi, Styx, I'm Christine, and I'm here to talk to you. Would you be willing to talk to me? And for Allison, and she has some questions, and I wondered if you'd talk to me. And she's like, she trots right over to me, and snorts and head bobs. And she's facing straight on, but back a few feet. And she says, oh, okay. I said, well, why are you outside in the daylight? Because I know she's at night turnouts. And she's like, I don't know. They never have, they have more fun in the daylight. And she's referring to the horses that are turned out in the day. I said, do they? She's like, I don't know, do they? She asked me back. I laugh. I'm like, why do you think so? And she's like, they come in all jazzed in the evening. When we come in to the barn in the mornings, we are quiet. I was like, oh, I understand. So that's why you think they have more fun. Would you like to be out in the daylight instead of at night? And she's like, not necessarily. I like my friends. She likes who she's turned out with, right? And if I do go out, and I do go out in the daylight sometimes too, she says, and I see her going into a trailer or going into an arena, and she says we're always going somewhere though. It's not just being out in the daylight. I'm like, oh, thank you for clarifying that for me. So we're establishing a relationship here. So I want to talk to her about this. And I said, so I wonder if we can talk about some questions that Allison has for you. She said, sure, let's talk. And she's rearing up on her back legs, doing this with her hooves. And it's not at me. I didn't feel aggressive. She's not in my face, but it's just like more energy release. She's just like, okay, if we got to talk and I got to stand here, I got to get some energy out. Okay. And that's what she says. And I just need to get it out. I'm like, okay. So Allison says, as far as energy goes, that you barrel race together. And she's like, yes, it's amazing fun. And we do it together. That's the best part. And I'm like, and she's like, I love it. And she's shaking her head. And I say, she says you're pretty good at it. And she's like, we are. I take it very seriously. It's my passion. I feel so good when I'm running. So I've written all this down, so that's why I'm looking down. I feel so good when I'm running. I'm thrilled to hear you say that, Styx. So happy that you were able to do something with Allison that you're passionate about. And I'm like, what? So what about the alleyway? And Allison says that stresses you. And she's like, it feels like pressure. and I don't like pressure. So there's that word pressure again. And I'm feeling I'm feeling it, and it's not around her head or her neck, it's around her body, and it feels claustrophobic. Like she can almost feel the pressure of a tight space in her energy field. I totally get it that she's feeling it in her aura or her energy field. And she's calling closed in spaces pressure, because that's how she physically experiences them. She feels them. Don't feel like it's a head thing. I feel like it's a body thing. Almost like when you get claustrophobic, you feel like you can't breathe. It's that kind of body pressure. So I ask her, all right, I understand. Is there anything that Allison can do to make that alleyway easier for you? And I'm picturing a big door, like a big arena barn, that the barn doors open at the other end, you know, and I wonder if you exit that way. I've never been to a barrel race, but I wonder if that's how you go out, if you come in the, and she wants to come in that way. And then I also am again picturing the alleyway and trying to tell her that the faster she moves through it, the sooner she gets out into the arena. But I feel like she's saying that she has to stand in that alleyway. So does she have to stand there and wait her turn? And then she also shows me the trailer issue as well. It feels the same. It's that pressure, that tighter space where she has to stand in it. And I feel like her energetic space is large. It needs some sort of clearing, or is there some sort of energy work or something? She needs a lot of personal space. And when that pressure, it's what she feels when she's in a more enclosed space. So I tell her, if you don't go through the alleyway, you can't leave through the other doors. That's just not how these things work. It's part of the competition. The part of the part you love, you also have to do this part too, because it's the way they set it up. And I said, if you don't do the alleyway, you won't be able to do the barrel racing, which is your passion. She's shaking her head again. She's really displeased with that. I said, I'm sorry. Is there anything that else might help you to deal with the spaces like the alleyway and the trailer? I'm seeing a blanket laid over her, like a red, white, like one of those wool, this turnout blankets. Maybe something goes under a saddle, but bigger. It's just over her neck to her butt. But I'm wondering also if it's an energetic blanket. Like more of the moving some sort of energy. Talk to Donna about that. But the blanket is red, white, black, maybe some blue in it. And energy work around her body. And so I know that with dogs, like a thunder coat or something, I don't know if you do that with horses, but maybe something to sort of contain or put a little bit of actual pressure on her body that takes away the feeling of the energetic confines. Don't know. And I look at her and I'm trying to really see what she's trying to show me, or see what Spirit's trying to show me around this. And then she's just grinning at me, like bringing me back into awareness with her. So that may mean something in the horse world. There may be ways to do this with horses that I'm not aware of. That's what I'm picking up on. I told her, Allison wants you to know that she does her very best to help you be comfortable. She does everything she knows. And Styx says, I know this. She does more for me than most of the people do here for their horses, and I love her. I said, she loves you too, Styx. She says, I love her. Will you tell her? If you haven't noticed, I can't talk in words, so you'll have to tell her. I said, I will. Hey, do you talk to her telepathically, I asked. She says, oh yes, we do it best when we're racing. She thinks it's her words, but she looks where she needs to go. She looks where we need to go. And so I see her thoughts, and then I go there and know what to do. It's kind of amazing to be able to talk to a human like that, she says. Like, that's awesome. That's exactly right. I said, I bet you and Allison could develop that telepathic, skill together. I mean, you're talking to me that way. And she says, you're different. You're not like talking to a person. I'm like, wow, that's kind of cool. And then I'm like redirecting her. I said, okay, so let's talk a little more about the trailer. Same issue, she says. She's really like to the point. Same issue. I like to ride, just not being in the thing. I'm like, oh, I didn't expect you to say you like to ride. She's like, yeah, riding's fine. It's the pressure. But so again, her head's okay. It's the feeling in her body. She's like alert and looking around, and I feel like wind in her, but it's the feeling here. I got it. Same issue, got it. Okay. I said, all right, let's talk about that food aggression thing. And she's like, what Allison calls food aggression? She's like, right on this one. There's a whole switch in energy here. What Allison calls food aggression is me not wanting to be bothered when eating. And I'm like, oh, I see. And I see her like also snatching food, maybe an apple or something from a hand harshly. And she says, don't tease me or try to lure me with food. Food is for eating, not teasing. And I don't feel, that you tease her, but maybe you're trying to encourage her or something, but she sees it differently. I said, it's possible that Allison wants to reward you with extra food and treats. And she's shaking her head. She's shaking it and snorting. And she wants nothing to do with that. She doesn't see it that way. She says, food is for eating. I said, what about this kick in the walls of your stall thing? Like, if we're going to be short and sweet, let's be short and sweet, girl. And she's like, bring it. Just bring it. And she's talking about the food. Just bring it. And there's some anger. I'm like feeling anger here. And I say, why are you angry when I bring up food, Sticks? She says, I want more. And she's like reverting to showing me pictures instead of words. There's different ways. And animals speak to each other in pictures. Words are a human thing, so I suspect. And so now she's just going into that emotional picture space. And animals do that even with me. They get emotional, and then they just show the pictures, and they stop with the human words, right? She's just showing she wants food in her stall all the time. And I explained to her that none of us can eat, nor should eat all the time, and we don't need food in front of us all the time. She wants none of it. She doesn't want to hear it. She just wants more. And I point out, I notice and picture for her, back to her beautiful coat and her mane and her, her ribs are not showing, and she's all muscly. And I tell her that she may not have had enough in the past, but she has enough now. And I tell her that food will not be left for her all the time. It's not healthy, and she could actually even get very sick from eating too much food at one time. And she just didn't want anything to do with that. And I said, you can choose to be angry, or you can choose to accept it. And I hear angry. I said, well, that's your choice, but you're hurting Allison. You're scaring Allison by being angry. And she's like, I'm not angry at her, just about it. Like, I understand, but kicking walls is only going to hurt you. And then she's worried about that too. She's worried that you're going to hurt yourself, And she says, I understand. I said, well, Sticks, do you think that you might stop kicking the walls for Allison? And I hear the pressure. And I say, in your stall? And I understand that when she's angry, I'm looking at her. It's not the pressure of a thing pushing in. It's the pressure of when she's angry or excited, her energy expands. It expands. And she feels the pressure around her body, which it comes through in anxiety. That pressure. Interesting. So then I realized she needs a lot of exercise. That release, that exercise is what brings us back into our body, right? And the same for her, same for or my dogs. Yeah. She's telling me I'm on it. So then I'm seeing that more exercise or at different times might help her reduce this energy in ways that might help her not feel like she has to kick the walls, you know? Yeah. I think that's for you to sort out. And that's how she's feeling about it. Then I decided, okay, let's take the pressure off a little and change gears. I say, Allison says that Bill, Journey, and Froggy have all recently passed away. And she's not upset about this. She says, yes, but they are all still here, so I don't miss them. They come and go to check up on us. So us is all the horses, the animals, the people that actually live there, not the owners. I said, that's awesome. I guess that didn't surprise me. She's like, yes, it is. We all stick together around here. This is a good place to live because everyone cares about each other. And I know she's talking about the horses that live there, any other animals, the people that live there, and not the owners. I said, Allison is also worried about cheese and wonders what you think about cheese and how you feel. And immediately I see this heart and she says, cheesy wheezy. She calls her cheesy wheezy. And I feel that cheese has a hard time breathing. And she calls her cheesy. Cheesy is my friend. I love her. I worry about her pain, but she doesn't worry about it. She takes care of me. There's some pain in her. Pain with the breathing, maybe? I don't know. I said, oh, that's sweet. She's like, yes, it is. She's a sweet horse. She's a sweetheart. She's a sweet friend. Oh my gosh, she just like flipped into being this super sweet little girly girl horse, which she loves Cheesy. She says, I will miss her sweet company when she's gone, but she's okay right now, and when it's her time, I will be here for her. I said, thank you, Sticks. She said, no need for thanks. It's what we do around here. And that's wonderful. That's wonderful to hear and know. Allison will be so glad to hear this. I said, do you know that Allison loves you so much and thinks you are an awesome horse? She's like, I do know this. And am blessed to call her my friend. Tell her thank you and that I love her. I'll tell her, Sticks. Thank you for talking to me. You're welcome, she says. And by the way, I will think on your words about me kicking walls. I was like, thank you. That would be wonderful. And then she just kind of faded out of my awareness. So I went back to the Metatron Oracle deck and asked for Spirit for a word of advice for you going forward with Sticks. And number 10 was first. Number 11, wake up call. Listen and take note. You're already hearing. You're already connecting with her very, very well. And I think taking in what she's told you, taking in what you've learned here, and try to, just keep your awareness open. We can tell animals what is good for them. We can offer them alternatives. We can say what we need to say, but I mean, they have free will. But I would encourage you, listen and take note. I would also encourage you to talk to her and tell her, I know, I'm working on it. What can we do? And then first thing that comes into your head, that's how telepathy works. It's not, I wonder what they're saying. I wonder what that means. I mean, first thought, first feeling in your body, ask a question, first thing. That is how we hear. That's how we hear. It's a complete exercise in trust that what is immediately in your head is coming from your animal. This is a wake-up call. Listen and take note. It is a time to step into the deepest trust and heed the clarion call of Archangel Metatron. This call cannot be drowned out by fear or denial, which is before you now. Trust what you hear. It is time to step into the deepest trust and heed this wake-up call, which may be a spiritual nature or affecting something very physical around you now. Wake-up calls can be both individual, affecting your own day-to-day life, and collective, and entwined with raising global consciousness. So, as you deepen your connection with Styx, deepen your understanding, deepen that back and forth communication, not just speaking but hearing, a quiet mind allows other things in. Intend to hear from her, and her only. She's in a barn full of animals. And then whatever comes in. The more you do this, the more these other owners will notice your connection. I really feel like animal communication is a lead by example situation. You know, people see us connected with our animals. They see our animals responding to us in ways that are unusual. And then they ask us, what did you do? What happened there? Have no fear. Have a little courage. Just tell them. Just tell them. And then move on. Let them do them. You do you. Right? So, Styx is fantastic. Styx is very energetic. Styx is very opinionated, but very, very willing to work with you and very connected to you. So, thank you for letting me do this. This was really enlightening for me. Every time I talk to a horse, I learn things because, you know, dogs are my people. Horses are not necessarily my people. But they are big teachers. All right. Love to you. I hope this helps you. And love to Styx.